Welcome to Inside EKU Sports, a jam-packed show this week. We'll talk cross-country and basketball. Let's begin with football. The final two games of the season are both at Roy Kidd Stadium, beginning with Austin Peay on Saturday. Mark Elder is with us, and Coach, coming off a tough loss in overtime to Eastern Illinois, one I know that got away from us a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game. Obviously, the way it played out, back and forth game. They did a great job on defense. We had a really good first drive, and were very effective there. And they shut us down quite a bit until the last drive of regulation. We were able to get things going again. But it was a really big defensive struggle, and they ended up making a couple more plays at the end than we did, and that's how they won in overtime. It
was really interesting because in the third quarter, Eastern Illinois seemed to have the field position tilted their way, and then Eastern Kentucky tilted it your way in the fourth quarter. And it was definitely a chess match on the football field.
Yeah, no question. And we talked about that before the game, talked about it at halftime, how important field position was going to be. And I thought both sides, that sometimes we had an advantage there and weren't able to capitalize, whether it be off of turnovers or just good starting field position. And then sometimes they had the advantage as far as starting field position, and then they weren't able to capitalize. So, there was a field position game, and it came down to, a play or two at the end.
You had called it after the game your toughest loss in your 18 years of football. You are very adamant about saying next game up. How do you put that one out of your system and go ahead to Austin Peay? Do you feel like you and the team have done that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's win or lose. You spend all day Sunday concentrating on the previous game. You want to, whether you win or lose, you want to focus on what you did well, what you didn't do well, get those things corrected, and then once we hit the practice field, it is move on, because we've made our corrections, we've talked about the things we need to talk about, and you have to move on. And if you let the last game linger, either way, it's not going to bode well for the following week, whether you're feeling yourself because you won a great game or whether you're down because you lost a tough one. You need to move on. And we've preached that all year long because we truly believe that our best opportunity to perform well on Saturday is once we hit the practice field Sunday, it's on to the next opponent no matter what happens. So I think our kids did that. They seemed to bounce back afterwards when we hit the practice field, and we're ready to go. Start a great week of preparation.
You talk about a team that has moved on from its past and its this week's opponent at Austin Peay. They had a 29-game losing streak they snapped. They snapped a 21-game losing streak in the OVC, and you look up there in second place in the conference at 5-1. Will Healy's team does it on the ground, from their quarterback to their running backs or wide receivers. It's all ground game for the most part.
Yeah, they're a running football team. They're going to spread you out, but it is a running football team. They're leading the conference in rushing. They got 250 yards rushing game, give or take, and that is what they're doing. They are not trying to throw the football in any way, shape, or form. And they're a big perimeter attack team. I mean, they're trying to attack you on the perimeter, creating space and those things. I think that's really what they've done. And what they've done a great job of this year is win close games. I mean, every single game that they've won outside of, Moorhead early in the season and when they played Murray without their quarterback, every other game that they've won has been really, really close. Basically all one touchdown ball games. And they've done a great job of finding a way to win those games at the end in very close matchups.
They have a running back in Kentel Williams that had 176 yards rushing against Eastern last year in a game that the Colonels set a school record or equaled it, 67-30 win. So Williams, obviously one of their backs, he was out last week with a hamstring, expected back for this game Saturday.
Yes, I think they've got a number of really good skill guys. So I think that offensively they're very similar to what they were a year ago. They've added a couple other guys with some speed that have certainly added a dimension to it. They're playing another quarterback as well, and I think that they're very similar guys. I mean, they're run-around guys, don't throw the ball a whole heck of a lot. Really where I see them having made huge strides is on defense.
Right.
I thought that they were pretty good on offense. They kind of are what they were last year, just a little bit better and executing a little bit better, and they're drinking the Kool-Aid. But last year on defense, that certainly wasn't their strong suit. And this year they're playing solid. I mean, they've gone from pretty much bottom of the conference in every category a year ago to somewhere in the middle of the pack defensively in every category. And I think that they're playing really well. They're playing really solid on defense. And I think that's the biggest area that they've improved. I mean, last year we were very nervous about their attack offensively going into the game, thought that they were very explosive. Where that defense now, you're looking at them and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, they even shut out Tennessee Martin 7-0. So they can win a high-scoring game. They can win a low-scoring game. It'll be tough on Saturday. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, that is Mark Geller. Don't forget the Colonels have that 1 o'clock kickoff Saturday against the Governors. It's going to be EKU's military appreciation game. Current or former military personnel with an ID will receive 2 free tickets and admission for additional guests at $7 each. Hope you're out at the stadium. We'll have the call at 100.7 FM on your phone with the TuneIn app at EKUsports.com on the internet or on the OVC Digital Network at OVCSports.com as well. We'll see you at the stadium, and we'll see you back here on Inside EKU Sports to begin talking hoops after this.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
It's time for the college basketball season to begin, and the Colonels will do that in Houston, Texas on Friday against Rice, followed by a game on Monday in Oxford, Mississippi against Ole Miss. Dan McHale joins us. You've got a team that's got a lot of depth this year. You've had to deal with a few injuries through preseason, but you've got to be excited. Impressive win over Georgetown College in your lone public exhibition.
Yeah, really, really excited. You know, I've said it publicly, I haven't been this excited about a season in a long time. I think a lot of it is because of the way last year ended. How much we came together and fought and kept going, and then to come back this year, you know, bring an influx of new guys and just have some hungry veterans. It's time to go.
Yeah, you've got 4 freshmen, and they're at the guard positions for the most part, and then transfer Jackson Davis out of Lafayette High School that played at Butler for a couple of years. I know he's been slowed down by a knee injury, but you've got new pieces, and so depth, and you hope to press more this year.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, each one of the freshmen, you know, brings something different to the table, and I think people saw that in the scrimmage the other day. They're all going to be really, really good. And then, you know, having Jackson, once he's fully healthy, you know, you saw him last year in practice. Right. He is a dominant force. So we'll bring him along slowly, bring the freshmen along slowly, but we're tested right out of the gate, like you said, opening up at Rice and then going to Ole Miss.
The only EKU player to ever score 1,000 points by the end of his sophomore year is Nick Mayo, 2-time all-conference first-teamer. Nick is back, had a double-double in the exhibition game, and I know you've been happy with the way he's worked in the offseason.
Yeah, he's had his best summer yet, and that's scary for the opposition because, you know, as dominant as he's been, we've been rebuilding those 2 years. Not to say the rebuilding is over because you're always trying to get better, but we've got a lot of pieces around him that are going to make him even better. His work ethic's off the charts. You know, he leads by example. You know, he's looking for a huge year.
Well, the conference season begins right after Christmas, but you do not have, as a team, an easy non-conference schedule. A lot of tough games on the road. So what are you looking for from this team in the non-conference?
Yeah, I just think we just need to get better and better as it goes on. I always say, you know, you want to be playing your best basketball come February, March. We're tested, you know, and you look at the miles we're traveling, you know, going out to Las Vegas and then coming back and then going back out to the West Coast again against an Oregon State team that's going to be really good. You know, playing the Power 5 schools, playing the Conference USA schools on the road at Western, at Marshall, playing in Northern Kentucky. We're going to be tested, and that's what it's all about. You know, I'm not up here just trying to stockpile wins. I want this team to get better. And that's my goal for this team, that once we hit OVC play, we're hitting on all cylinders.
I know the goal obviously is to do as well as you can in the OVC. Definitely you have to make the tournament this year. That's a goal. Is there any specific goal that you've set for this season?
You know, I just told the guys, you know, we're not going to look at the past. You know, you can look at some of the adversity we've faced, and you can either run from it or you can embrace it. And I just say, you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You just got to be your best version today. So we're going to take it game by game. As cliche as that sounds, it really is. But, you know, our goal is to be one of the top teams in the OVC. I think we're right on that trajectory. And then by OVC play, we're playing our best basketball, and then, you know, you let the chips fall where they may.
The first game in this tournament, the MGM Grand main event, is the game on campus site against Rice. Same thing with Ole Miss before the Colonels go to Vegas for 2 games. The Rice team has lost 6 of their top 7 scorers. They won 23 games last year. Their head coach goes to VCU. The assistant takes over. They brought in some transfers, so they're a little bit of an unknown quantity.
They are. And what I've been telling my guys is that they have a culture of winning. You know, anytime a school promotes from within, it's a culture of winning. So they're winners. They won a lot of games last year. It is going to be a tough, tough test for us, but we're really excited.
All right, Dan, we look forward to it. Good luck this season.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
All right, that is Dan McHale. The Colonels taking on Rice will be on the air at 100.7 FM at 7:30. Tip-off for the Owls and the Colonels is 8 o'clock from Houston on Friday night. You can also catch our call on EKUsports.com and through your phone with the TuneIn app. Don't forget that also the Colonels home opener, 7 o'clock the next Thursday against Kentucky State. Well, we're on the subject of round ball. We'll look in on the women's team when we come back here on Inside EKU Sports.
EKU is the campus beautiful. The school of opportunity, where you are always welcome. And it feels like home. We're changing how we look, but our mission is still the same: to help you expand your knowledge, discover your passion, and unlock your purpose. Be a Colonel. Your time is now.
Hit high and deep.
Back of the end zone. Brown got it. Moore drives inside. Put it up. This one swung and missed it.
Now Smith again. Block. Point Tech.
Nice turnaround by Johnson. Near post. Kick in.
Any place, anytime. Find it here. The OVC Digital Network.
Your host on Inside EKU Sports is old. The EKU women's basketball team is young. Chrissy Roberts is here. Good luck. I counted it up. 8 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 6 juniors, but 5 are newcomers to the team, and 1 senior. You're a young team with a lot of questions about who's going to fit, who's going to play, all that kind of thing.
You're right. We are young, and we'll spend a lot of our non-conference schedule trying to figure a lot of that stuff out. But I'm hoping, you know, our non-conference will get us prepared to be competitive in conference play.
You played a really good non-NCAA team in Davis and Elkins Sunday in an exhibition, won 67-54, good 14-4 run to start the second half. What did you get out of that game? What did you see out of your team?
I tell you what, just coming back out after halftime and being able to separate ourselves the way we did. We took halftime to talk about some things that we needed to focus on, that we needed to change, and we did that. And so for a young team to listen and to be focused and then to take the floor of the third quarter and make those changes says a lot about where we are. Have a ways to go, but that's a step in the right direction.
5'11" freshman Bria Bass from Tucker, Georgia, led you in that game with 19 points. Saw a lot of talent out of that young lady.
She's extremely talented. Still has a lot of work, but shoots it extremely well. Great size. Handles are solid. Still working on, seeing the extra pass, making the extra pass, connecting. Defensively has gotten better, but she's going to be a fun one to watch this season.
What kind of style are you going to play this year? Are you going to be different than the past couple of teams?
I'm trying to get out and run, play up tempo. If we can score early, score early. We do have some size, so we're running a lot of 4 out, 1 in. Defensively, we've changed a little bit that I think will be good for us because we are bigger and we're longer, so we'll see how it works out.
Who do you need a leader on this team, and who do you expect to be a leader since you're so young overall?
I'll tell you what, my 2 Madisons have done a really good job of making sure that we're on the same page on the floor and doing what we're supposed to be doing. Very vocal. Are they perfect? No, but they're consistent in their actions and their effort and just being positive and uplifting their teammates. And that's something that we've not had consistently in the past. But we have a different group as far as our chemistry and being receptive to listening to each other and not getting mad at the constructive criticism that's coming from our teammates.
So you open the season on the road against a MAC school in Bowling Green on Friday, and then you get home Saturday, November 18th against UNC Greensboro. So away we go. What are you looking for the non-conference schedule? Because obviously the focus has to be on the OVC eventually.
You know, just again, grow as individuals and as a team in all aspects. I mean, we have a ton of work cut out for us. I'm a firm believer in team ball. One or two players will not make it happen. Individual ball will not be great for us. Just trusting each other on the defensive end and on the offensive end, playing good, solid team competitive ball for 40 minutes.
All right, Chrissy, good luck this season. We'll be talking to you throughout the season.
Thank you.
Chrissy Roberts, head coach of the EKU women's team, opening again Friday on the road against Bowling Green State University. When we come back, it's off to the tournament postseason in NCAA cross country. We'll meet one of the runners when we return.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
For the 11th time in the last 12 years, the EKU men's and women's cross-country teams sweep to the championships of the Ohio Valley Conference. And now it's on to the NCAA Regionals outside Charlottesville, Virginia for both teams. We're going to talk about the women's team with Ciara Scott, a senior. The women's team went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in cross country, that's a perfect score. That had to be thrilling for your team.
Yeah, it was really, really exciting. It was really fun to do.
So you ended up 4th personally,
yes.
Had a good run. It was a flat course, and you said you really didn't feel like you were running that good of a time, but you guys were flying.
Yeah, it was like when we finished the line, I was like, there's no way that was quick. And then Megan was like, Coach Megan was like, oh, you guys are in like 17:25, and we were all like, oh, all right, like, I'll take that, right. Definitely.
Charlotte Emmer is the leader of your team. She's the best runner. How does she motivate the rest of you to be a good team? Because she's kind of the rabbit out there leading everybody.
Yeah. Well, we all know, like, we need Charlotte to go out there and do her thing. And then we know that Charlotte's counting on us to go back there and be our pack of 4 and 5 and pull us all together as a team. So she's, like, very understanding and, like, I'm going to go do my thing, but you guys do your thing because you're good at what you do. And we know she's good at what she does.
In the Southeast region, EKU is rated 3rd. You're rated 23rd overall as a women's team. So you know that if you perform well, and I hate to put the pressure on you all, but you're going to make the Nationals in Louisville if you get there. I mean, but you got to run well on Friday against a bunch of teams, about 40 teams.
Yep.
So what is the key to not letting your nerves overtake you and run your race and run a team race?
We usually have like a pep talk with Megan, and we've discussed that really we don't need to do anything special. We just need to go out there and run like we have all season. So that really helps to kind of calm the nerves. Like, we don't have to do anything spectacular to make it. We just need to go out there and do what we've been doing all season.
The cross-country team is full of two-sport athletes because you're also in track and field, and you're the record holder at EKU in the steeplechase. That is a grueling event. Talk to me about that.
It's really hard, but I love it. My dad did it in college, and so I did it in high school, and then I did it in college, and it's my favorite. For sure.
We're talking with Ciara Scott. She is a cross-country and track athlete at EKU. Her mom and dad both still run. They were both track athletes at Western Kentucky. Your mom was a coach for a while there, and you end up here at Eastern, and they've got to be awful proud of you.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the fact that both of your parents were in the same discipline and how that led to you being a runner as well.
I think it really helped having my mom and dad understand and be on the same level as me, and they always push me and they know what I'm capable of, so it's really nice to have them there and be like, okay, like you can do this. You know, when I was in college and high school, this is what I struggled with, and it helps to, like, when you're struggling, bring you back down and be like, okay, I can do this. You did it.
You're going to graduate with a public health degree, and after college, the next step in college is what for your career?
Dental hygiene. So I'm going to look in Louisville or Western to go to dental hygiene school.
Okay, good luck to you and the team at the NCAA Southeast Region.
Thank you.
All right, that is Ciara Scott talking about cross country. Again, that regional meet to try to qualify for the Nationals is on Friday just outside Charlottesville, Virginia. And that does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. You can keep up with Colonel Athletics. Just like or follow our channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you again next week.